The fishing rod. I'm gonna totally rework this from scratch. I'm gonna fix the multiplayer issues, add a whole new bait system, a fishing system. Oh, this is gonna be so much work, but I hope it's gonna be worth it. So let's start by taking the working fishing rod script and doing this. This is gonna be so much fun. I must say, I already regret trying to redo the fishing rod because this code is a mess. Like, for example, here's all of this load animation stuff, and I don't understand it, so I think I'll just copy it and hope it'll work. Wait, I'm actually holding the stick, so stuff is somewhat working. Right now you can see I have a charge-up thing that will never disappear. Like, I'm doing a lot of effort just to separate all the animation code from the actual code. Mostly because I don't really understand this stuff. And I've got the charge-up time working, which took freaking forever, but I'm really not that experienced with modding tools, so I'm really glad it's working now. Okay, maybe not. It's a little wonky if you start sprinting all the time. Well, I fixed it now, and now it works like just as intended. But yeah, that already took all of my time this evening, so I'll get back to it later, I guess. Alright, it's a new day to work on the fishing rod, and today I'll get to do the fun stuff, like actually making the hooks work, and I expect a lot of confusion. Right, so now it picks up the swing, and you'll hear the sledgehammer sound once I release my mouse. I think I'm literally marking code with sus, because I don't think I'm gonna need it later. But the system is really annoying, because the client tells the server to create the effects, and then the server sends the data to the clients that actually create the effects. And this is why it was so broken in multiplayer before. Alright, in theory, this code should already render the hook. So let's see if... Oh god. What is happening? You see, the hook is moving, so that is working, and the rope also moves. Yes, every time I do this, I create a new effect, which is, I guess not bad. But now we have a bunch of weird milk bottles flying around. Right, I'm back to vector physics again. Because, like, you see the fishing rod is at the right of our screen, and I only have the direction of the character, so I kind of need to calculate the right direction, and why did I even bother with all of these animations? I am regretting this so badly. My endless army of milk bottles. You can see the bottle is rotating at least now, which is good, I think. It's watching me. Right, now watch this. It is working. And yeah, if I spawn multiple bottles, they are all gonna connect to my rope. Oh yes, it is working. Right, it's day 3 of reworking the fishing rod now, and I hope I can get a little bit done today, because yeah, this is still kinda bad. Make the use cooldown work, so you cannot spam the hook anymore. Okay, you still can. Wow. I'm stupid. Alright, I did a lot of progress right now, even if you can't see it. Because now, if I'm throwing stuff, and I now press my button, yeah, but I'm not spawning a new one just yet. And then I can throw the next one, so I'll now just need to get rid of the effect. Alright, I'm pretty sure I might have the destruction of hooks working now, so if I... Yeah, I get an error. Because I said hook instead of hooks. It's just a little S. Alright, let's try again, and we get a different error. Yep, it's because I got the naming wrong again. And now if I do the... It works! It works! It should also... Okay, we got a problem. Cannot create any new hooks anymore. So apparently if you create a table at position 1, it creates a different table than if the position is 2 or any number really. The data structure is completely different. I was just saying, it's working, but now, yeah, I crashed the whole script. Alright, I think I got... No. I did not fix this error. Right, so I just learned more about lure. This little neat table.remove function removes an element from a given position in an array, but I have a table, and it's instead everyone recommends just putting it to nil, and yeah, let's deal with it. Oh yeah, setting it to nil is the feature, I just realized that. So just don't use table.remove, just set it to nil. And now, like, it now just works. Well, speaking of the bait, I want to try and implement a system where you can use different baits for fishing, so now if I have the fishing rod and I press Q, nothing happens. Okay, I just reloaded my game and suddenly it's working. So whenever I press Q, it now says subscribe to Dr. Pixel Plays. Alright, so now it says bait none, but if I go into unlimited, I can cycle between a sunshake, raw fish, revival baguette, raw fish, Okay, I cannot get back to none. This is bad. But now theoretically, I should be able to throw a baguette. Right now, if I, for example, select the sunshake, I can throw his sunshake as a bait, and it works. Let's switch that to like a raw fish, and now I can fish with a fish. Let's fish with a revival baguette. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, the scaling is gonna be kind of an issue because the revival baguette is still quite big. I thought about the baits, and I think if you throw the hook, it then consumes the bait, and if you don't have a bait, it will just default back to the non-bait, and that way, that you'll get the bait back when you catch fish, I guess. Maybe there's a chance, I don't even know. But that should hopefully avoid issues with, you know, you having a bait and then throwing it away. Right, so I have the system working now. If I select the sunshake and I throw it, it appears, disappears from my hotbar, and now it's being thrown. And yeah, as soon as I cancel it, I get my sunshake back. So this is really cool, actually. So I probably should start by adding gravity to the projectile, because currently it keeps going in whatever direction you're looking at, which is kind of bad. Okay, so in theory, I now add a negative, like a vector that points down every tick, which is multiplied by time and should hopefully lead into some acceleration. All right, let's see. Okay, you can see it slowly keeps falling downwards. So yeah, this is kind of how physics work, I guess. Now the gravity is kind of slow, but we're also not throwing the hook very fast to begin with. I mean, this is all right. It's just that I need to first start making the hook throw faster, because it's still kind of slow even at maximum speed. And because this accelerates, you can even throw it, you can probably see some of the gravity is not working as intended, because this still keeps going up. But I think over time it should slowly come back. Oh, this is like the longest throw in all of fishing. Alright, I saved the velocity in the direction, and now I normalize the crap out of it so it completely disappears. Right, now it should make a difference. So yeah, this is much farther. Yeah, you can throw this thing really, really far. I mean, the interesting part is now actually making the thing stop once it hits the water, which is fun. Oh, I think I should really limit the maximum angle you can throw the hook at, because this is ridiculous. I threw that thing up like half a minute ago, and it's only just starting to come down, I think. Right, I'm now testing a feature the devs just added to the game. If I... This is amazing. But it's simultaneously rendering the area trigger at the same position where the hook is. And I want to see if it collides with water or like anything really, because currently it just goes right through the terrain. In theory, the hook should stop once it hits the water. Wait, I think it kind of works. Like, let me use the sunshake. I think it's bigger. You can see it's working. It even works with the baguette. It's not really sexy right now, but it works. All right, this is interesting. Now it does detect collision with the terrain, but it also collects a collision with water. Oh wait, does it? Because there's a long delay. Yeah, I think it still keeps updating the position and direction on the server side, even if it shouldn't, because I forgot to change that. If everything works now, I throw it onto the water, it stays on the water. I throw it onto terrain, and I mean, it stops at least. Mostly because I just copy-pasted some code with, yeah, not really checking if it fits in the actual context. But now if I throw it, I think it actually does. Yeah, it disappears. This is amazing. This is starting to look really good. So, of course, I still need to add a splash effect for the water, which I'm gonna, I think, work on next. Now, the hook thing works nicely, except that I don't throw the hook again if I press my mouse button, which you can't really see. But I'll fix that, and then we can work on the splash effect, and then we can already get to the fish, which is gonna be so much fun. Right, I think it's working now. Whenever I hit the terrain, I'll just can start throwing immediately. Right, so now if I fish, I get the charge up time, which is weird. Right, all of the bugs have been fixed now, so we can work on some water splash effects. Right, here we should go now. Now it plays a little water splash. This is amazing. Right, if everything works, I should now hear sound. But basically what you have to do is create parameters like this that kind of refer to parameters in the effect, and that somehow messes with the audio. For some reason it sounds louder if I pull it out than if I put it into the water. Because currently if you just throw it into the water, it's just really static and stays at one spot. So I'm just gonna apply an offset that's gonna pull the hook underwater, and then it will slowly surface again. And that's gonna look really cool. It's getting a little late, so this is the last thing I'll do today. No wonder I make stupid mistakes. So does it work now? I'm not entirely sure. I think it does, which is good. I probably need to get the variables right, but yeah, you can see it. I mean, you can... Okay, let me get the long sandwich. This is so funny. So you can Yeah, you can see it much better with the baguette. Right, a nice day for fishing, ain't it? Okay, so now I need to make the actual fish work. Alright, so I just thought about the data structure for the fish, and I made this JSON file, which basically has the fish over here, the ID for the game, and now I can set stuff like the rarity, like how likely it is you catch the fish. I can make it so you can only catch it in certain parts of the world, or at certain times. And then there's a check for the, like, liquid. I can make certain fish only spawn in chemicals, and last but not least, we have the bait. So, yeah, it's a lot of data, and what I'm basically trying to do, generate a list of all possible fish you could get once you throw the hook into the water, and then randomly select one of these based on their individual chance. I have a feeling this is starting to turn into some kind of spaghetti code. Right now I think the system is working because when I throw my hook into the water, which I just did, it gives me the data of the normal fish, which is pretty good. There's a function from the loot stuff which works over, like, this is pretty much the same system, but I can mostly just yoink the function and use this to select one of the fish based on the chance. I don't know, effect.fish.effect seems kind of redundant, but this is how it works. Or I just simplify things by saying fish equals effect.fish, and then I can just simply write fish and it's less confusing, which is a good idea. Alright, so the code seems to be working. I now just need to start rendering the fish effect, and once I'm done with this is gonna start to look really, really epic. Alright, I think I should have the animations done. I have really no idea if this is gonna work. I don't think it's gonna work. It's probably gonna crash as usual. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we spawned a fish. Oh my god, you can see a fish moving. Because, yeah, it's stupid typos that I make. But I can't believe that this is working. This is gonna be so epic. Yeah, but that's definitely bigger. Now it gets close to the hook. And then I think it stays there. Okay, it's working, it's working. Okay, the fish now goes away. Then it goes close to the hook. Then it's gonna stay there for a while. Then it goes back again. It's gonna keep bouncing back and forth. Now I have the exact opposite, like, behavior I want. It's really slow when it's close to the hook and really fast when it's gone. And I'm not entirely sure how I do, like, invert the math. No fish? Do we move at all? I think it's stuck. Okay, now we have a land fish, but I don't even know how to fix it. I feel the rotation of the fish now kinda works. I mean, the fish looks kinda dead inside. The whole fish just flipped. Okay, this is kind of bad. But hey, now the rotation of the fish is completely right.
Nope.
Oh my goodness. This is gonna be fun. I'm just having fun with vectors, and I somehow need to get rid of this seizure the fish has whenever it gets too close to the hook. But this is correct, more or less. Did I just say it is correct? It's totally not. And this is why I do not like vector physics, because I don't get this. Alright, this code is getting so janky, but yeah, okay, now the fish keeps teleporting between two positions, because I was stupid. Finally, the fish is not getting a seizure every time, which is pretty nice. Well, I just realized if I now have like distance 1 and 2, and it, like, the fish can overshoot the first distance and still be below 0.1 length or whatever. It's kind of complicated. Ugh, I hate vector stuff. Right, now I just need to fix the rotation. Oh, I also just realized if I pull back the hook and it wasn't in water before, I still get the water effect. Ah, yes, rotation. Logically thinking about it, this is all of the rotation it needs to do. First, it needs to flip the fish on the right side, which is pretty normal. Then the fish always points in this direction. So you then rotate the fish from this direction to wherever it needs to look like. I don't know, if I multiply quaternions, I get the Hamilton product. Whatever the hell this means, all of the math, like, how am I supposed to understand this? Remember how I just said it's that simple? Now the eyes of the fish are always facing towards the hook. So yeah, I kinda understand what I'm doing. Oh my, are you just kidding me? Why is it suddenly making sense? Why? I hate rotation. Okay, now the fish is upside down. That's kind of bad. Okay, let's try random numbers until it magically starts to work. This is really awesome. I now tried adding some little periodic rotation to the fish to make it look more like it's swimming, but it doesn't look good yet. Yeah, that looks more like it, you see. Oh my god, this already looks so good. So next I'm gonna add the splashes, which is gonna make this look so much better. Yeah, this hopefully works for every fish. Yep, it even works for the sunshake. Oh my god, this is so epic. So if the fish comes close to the hook, yes, we can hear a splash effect. And I think the hook even gets, goes down a little bit. If I now screw up the fishing, the fish should turn around and basically speed up to infinity. It turns around and it kind of starts swimming a little. So it starts off slowly and then it really quickly picks up speed, and then I don't know where it's gonna end up. Oh my god, this code is so amazing. I just need to send one command to the server and I can keep creating new fish when you screw it up. It should be that easy. So now the fish goes away and my script breaks. I'll just gotta keep talking, and now fish runs away into infinity and another one spawns immediately. It works. We have infinite fish spawning. Right now, if this works, because I'm currently fishing with a sunshake, but I'm gonna run out of it as soon as the fish starts biting, and it's random. So I don't really know how to time this with the footage, and yeah, I'm too lazy to do proper editing. It now says nil. Out of baits. Alright, just worked. It said out of baits and it immediately returned the hook, and now I just throw a normal hook instead of a sunshake. All that's left to do is just put the fish in your inventory if you press the button at the right time. Right, in theory, we can now actually catch fish. I mean, this would be really poggers. And I pressed the button and I got, oh my god, a lot of errors in the console. Yeah, and it was basically just a stupid typo. And there we go, I've got nil sunshake times 1. I fished a sunshake. Are you kidding me? There we go, I've caught a raw fishes. So yeah, it is working now, which is really poggers. And now I guess this means it's time for the dreaded multiplayer testing. I'm just testing it in multiplayer and it worked the first time around. Now, yeah, now you can see it keeps clipping through all of it and I keep getting an error in console. So, alright, I just reloaded the script stuff. It works. I can even hear the munching sounds of the fish. It's really amazing. For once, he does not see the splashes, which is really weird.
1 hour later.
Alright, I figured out why the multiplayer was not working. Turns out, Tofix has giant skill issues and didn't use the latest script. Like, I thought my entire code was broken, but he's too stupid to get the latest script off GitHub. Like, bruh! Everything works like a charm, considering I didn't have to do any multiplayer testing yet. Now, the only real issue is that I can select a bait, but I cannot throw it. So, that's the only real thing I need to fix, which is really surprising. Okay, the bait error is literally just a typo. Alright, it's fixed now. Now I can finally catch the sus fish with the sunshake. Alright, so I've added a couple things to the fishing rod. Most importantly, you see now that it doesn't actually render the fish. Instead, it just renders a black normal fish. And basically the idea is it's kind of lame if you know what kind of fish you're gonna catch beforehand. So now it's essentially another loot box you can open, and that, you know, keeps the dopamine flowing. Yeah, basically I'm just copying more of the game design from Animal Crossing. It's good. I also fixed this throwing bug, so you can't throw this thing all the way to heaven anymore. And yeah, the entire bait system is now removed, because there's big news about the custom game mode update. So we're gonna release it at the end of May, when the current update also goes live on the public branch. But since we are working on so much stuff, like, I want to add a whole quest system for all of this fishing, use all of the different baits and stuff. Like, I'm gonna do so much with it. But since this takes up so much work, we're gonna drop a big update after the custom game mode update, which already is gonna add a bunch of new features. So yeah, there's gonna be a bunch of exciting new stuff coming up, and if you don't wanna miss that, you could hit the sweet subscribe button and give this video a like, because I guess that helps the algorithm.